Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
And welcome back to Realistic Sustainability. I'm Mike, and I have woken up Jamison to join us today.
Good morning.
You weren't actually sleeping. I was trying to be funny.
I wanted to be sleeping. I tried, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it wasn't for lack of effort, right?
It's never for lack of effort. I love to sleep.
No, it's that time of year. Really, all you want to do is sleep.
I know. I'm like a bear. I want to hibernate in the winter.
Oh, I don't mean just you. I'm not much better. And usually we don't get a ton of snow until right around Christmas or after Christmas. This year was like right after Halloween. It was nonstop, and it's not made me happy.
No, today was kind of warmer. Yesterday was really nice, actually, but yeah, I've not been a fan of the cold this year.
Well, on top of the fact, I'm doing all these shorts on our trip from Hawaii. So I'm on day 4, which was one of my favorites. It's with all the tide pools. And we went out and watched the sun go down in the northern part. And we went up in the mountain to try to see the stars, but ended up seeing Kona from a distance. And seeing all those things, knowing that when I walk outside, I'm going to be so cranky about it.
It makes it worse.
It does.
So
I
much
want to go
worse.
back. I'm like reliving
yeah.
day by day through the show and then remembering it's 9 degrees outside.
Right. That's torture.
Anyways, this week, because the way the shows fall, the last show is right at the end of the year, which means we would miss Christmas. So this show, I want to talk about some of those sustainability style Christmas things we could do.
Ooh,
So it
yeah.
used to be Nick's Sustainable Christmas, but this time it's you and I.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I can add new ideas, right?
absolutely. Well, you're a heck of a lot more crafty than the rest of us. So honestly, you're probably much more qualified to have this conversation than him or I.
I don't know about that.
So there's tons of different ways to look at how to be more sustainable during the holiday season. But just a couple of things real quick. In the United States, we spend money. This is the time of year that companies, it used to be Black Friday was because all the companies who hadn't made any money for the whole year, this is where they started making money. That day after Thanksgiving was when everything became profit for the year. Well, now it's quite a bit different because of online shopping and some of these other things, but it's still where large chunks of Americans go into hellacious debt and sometimes carry that debt all the way to the following year. In 2022, so this is kind of an older number, in the United States, $936.2 billion was spent, and that was just gifts. That's not food or decorations or anything else.
Oh, wow.
$936.2 billion with a B dollars in the United States. And that was in 22.
How do they decide what's a gift and what's not a gift?
They're picking it from certain industries. I don't think it's a perfect science. I bet you that when they say Walmart dollars, they're just saying, okay, this percentage of Walmart dollars is probably assessed to this by SKU.
I was going to say, because by nature, you always try to shop for yourself right around Christmas time. To the point that we had to set up a rule in the house.
I don't know if you know this, but I've been really fighting it this year.
I bet you have.
Not to sell myself out. There's certain things, like I like those Columbia pullovers, and they're starting to wear out. And I'm thinking, ooh, now's a good time. I could probably get a couple of those. Or I had sent you sneakily, of course, just under the radar, there's a little light that you can get for your desk, but it's actually Tony Stark's arc reactor from his chest from Iron Man. And it even has the mount that says proof that Tony has a heart. I mean, that seems like an every household kind of item.
It's a necessity, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Because like right now we have a video going and according to Rob, I'm supposed to start using these videos. I can't just keep recording in what looks to be a closet and using the audio for what we need and not use the video. So now I have to redo my office, at least have like nothing behind me kind of thing. But you know what would look great behind me is an arc reactor.
Oh, of course.
Or Iron Man's helmet. There's things. But anyways, that's not sustainable.
I'm going to need to start wearing makeup and do my hair then.
I have to wear these readers sometimes and I just keep looking older. So
you look distinguished.
Is that what it is?
Wearing readers since I was 7. So
at some point, some of these will be chopped up and we'll see them on different parts of our social media per Mr. Bogan, who thinks that I'm being lazy and should do better for the people who listen. So,
well, then Rob better start adding to my makeup fund then.
Makeup fund.
Ooh,
we'll see what we can.
It?
No, actually, I don't think we can. I don't know. No. If you're listening right now and you're a certified tax professional, let me know if
we are certified tax professionals.
No, not anymore. No, we aren't. No, we are not. We were. We are not at the moment.
That's how we met.
It is. If you are, not you, but the yous that are out there, if you are a certified tax professional, let me know. Maybe she can write off her makeup as long as it's that portion used during the show. Or maybe you have to buy specific makeup just for the show.
Ooh, show makeup.
Show makeup. That is probably tax deductible. Anyways, we should probably do a show instead of acting goofy as usual. In case anybody's wondering, this is pretty much how we act just in general when there's no one else around.
We entertain ourselves.
Yeah, it's good fun. So anyway, some more numbers, because you know me and numbers. We're going to start there and then talk about other stuff. So basically, every American who's spending money for the holidays is going to average about $1,014. And that's what accumulates into that. So that's just gifts. Then $115 on food, $63 on decor, $29 on cards and postage. Boo. $24 on flowers, which I've never considered.
I think it's a poinsettia. It's spelled different.
Oh my. Well, I've always said poinsettia.
Those that are better at the English language, please feel free to contact.
To continue, 56% of U.S. citizens will start shopping for Christmas in October or before November. So I like my mom used to do it year round. She used to do
that's financially smart, though, I feel like, because then you're not putting all the strain on yourself at the end of the year. That's really should be how you should do it.
Yeah, but I always worry about people. This might be something they really wanted, but 6 months later, they could care less. And I want to make sure if we are purchasing something, it is something they're going to use for a long time.
Yeah, I do. I take that back. You can't do that with kids. Absolutely not with kids. But I don't feel like adults change their tastes and things that often. You could shop for your parents or spouse or something like that early.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that from now until I die, I would be excited to get an arc reactor.
Oh my god.
That comes from the chest of Iron Man. You're probably right. Anyways, 32.8 million live Christmas trees are cut down and sold. Yeah, that's a lot of Christmas.
Did you say and stole?
Not stole. I'm sure there's more stolen.
I was going to say, first of all, I don't think stole is a word, but
yeah, we're killing the English language today. Sorry, everybody. This is what happens when we're apparently just waking up. Yeah.
Right.
No, live Christmas trees sold, financially gained from 32.8 million, and there probably is a significant amount of trees stolen also.
I know. Now I want that number.
27% of Americans will go into debt during this holiday season.
That seems awfully low.
Well, then I know where you're at in the holiday season, on which side of the fence you're on. But yes, approximately 27%. So just over a quarter of Americans will go into debt. And of those people who go into debt, 28% of them will still be paying that debt the following Christmas season when they go to buy gifts again.
Ooh, yikes.
Very painful. So when it comes to the holidays, following the commercial side of it, the way that corporations would love us to, is not good for us. It is not good for the environment. It is really just not good in general.
Right. Absolutely.
So looking at some of these options is probably best. And some of them I want to make changes on too. So we'll go into that. Now, gifts wise, I have certain rules with gifts nowadays. I want them to be usable and I want them to hopefully be usable for a long period of time. Now, that doesn't work with Addison because she wants
I
like
was just thinking
hair
about that.
care products or,
Oh no, I was thinking about her AirPods.
oh, well,
They got washed.
yeah. So sometimes they should be on a monthly service plan. But unfortunately, there's certain things. Aiden had that same darn problem. We want things that they're going to use. I do try to avoid electronic stuff nowadays as they get older because it seems to be something they do all year round or want all year round. I'm looking for something that still gives them their happy factor, something they're still excited to get, but I want them to be able to use it for long periods of time.
Grayson wants a lot of stuff for making a YouTube.
He's doing good. So while we're here, what is his handle on YouTube so everybody can hear it?
He has 2 of them that he can't decide which one's his favorite. So I will give you both of them, but you got to give me just a minute.
Okay. Well, he's actually pretty darn funny. So
There are some funny ones.
I'll link it in the description too, just so everybody, if they want to go see Gray, because they probably remember him from season 2,
right?
Doing the questions and being on the show.
Yeah, when he couldn't even say all the words correctly. Father GT is one of them, and the Easy Expert Gamer.
All right.
So he has 2 of them, and he's got a couple funny shorts on there that cracked me up, but it could be just because I'm his mom and I think he's hilarious.
Send me the tags and I'll put them in the description below. So anybody's interested in Grayson from way back when, you can see him doing his own videos. Anyways, gifts wise, like for example, as he gets older, he's going to want things like as he's moving into his own home and his hobbies. So tools or things for his home. It was even in high school, we were looking at like what bed should he have so he can take it with him, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, last year we got him luggage.
And little did we know he was just going to join the army and carry this big green sack around everywhere he goes.
Well, he took an empty backpack with him. That's the only thing he took.
Yeah. He's going to slowly move it all back. He said, I got to make room in the trunk when I go to pick him up on the 20th. So
oh boy,
he's going to start moving some stuff back. But yeah, things that are going to be durable, they're going to last, and that they don't have to replace them. I don't try to get anything that is so flashy that it's going to be tacky later.
Right.
Remember that house we went and looked at a long, long time ago before we moved into the one we have now that had like the velvet walls? You know, they spent money on that place.
It was amazing. It looked like a 70s disco in the basement. It was a finished bar basement with mirrored ceilings. It was amazing.
Black and red velveted walls. And yeah, it was a unique environment. But when you look at that, you're like, oh, I have to tear all this out. When we talk about gifts, I think the best way to say it is this something that you know they want and that they're going to keep for a long period of time as long as it's functional?
Right. There's nothing I hate more. And me and my brother both hate this so much. And if my mom's listening, I'm sorry, but we despise this. Is my mom will put stuff in, because she does stockings also at her house, and she puts just a bunch of useless knickknacks and crap that literally just take up space and it's never gets used, and just put candy in there. At least the candy will get eaten.
I prefer like the colognes and, go ahead and throw a deodorant in there. Give me a toothbrush.
Right. Well, which is funny that you say that, because my whole childhood, our stockings were toothbrushes, deodorants, all hygiene stuff, and then like one special little thing.
Yes, all of us used to get the same thing. And we used to make jokes with our parents, like, if someone thinks we stink.
Santa thinks you stink.
Well, in one year, and I don't have it anymore, I kept it a lot of years without using it, but I had Old English Leather Lemon. It was a cologne.
Oh.
I don't think smelled good, but we never opened it because we used it as like a nonstop. It was like an ongoing joke that Sean and I would send it to each other all the time.
Oh, I love those gifts.
But that's another thing when it comes to friends and family. Sometimes people have the same humor as you. At this point, we've got your whole family giving cards back to each other and scraping off names and crossing certain parts of the card out. And people will draw pictures to change what the card is about. that is great because I don't want to see any brand new cards. I love this like graffiti card we get every year.
Yeah, my brother thinks it's hilarious, so he keeps jumping on that bandwagon too.
Well, I'm sure he's comfortable with saving the $4, $5 for a card that you people look at and go, "Hey, thanks," and
Yeah,
then it just
exactly.
goes away. The amount of embodied energy in that card is sickening. So it's more fun. I don't care. Rip a side of a paper bag off and write it on it. I hate cards. They make me angry. I hate cards. I hate the little tags with your names on them. Paper works. You can use a Kit Kat wrapper out of the trash. I don't care. Just
Or
use
just
something you
write
already
with
have.
marker the gift on the wrapping paper.
Yes, I'm comfortable with that. Reusable bags where we have, if you look inside, you can see the evolution of giving in this bag where the names are scraped off one by one by one all the way down. I love that.
Everyone got for years baby shower gift bags. Everything came in a baby shower gift bag.
Mhm.
The only time I didn't do that was when it was like a kid that was like around the age of 6 to 9. I wouldn't give them a baby shower one because I knew they'd be offended that I thought they were a baby.
Just got to get creative.
Yeah.
I love, that's one of my favorite parts now because I've always hated cards. But one of my favorite parts about the holidays now is to see what kind of ridiculous creativity that has come from someone having extra cards laying around that they know that they can give me and that I'm
Yeah.
just going to re-gift every year. It's great.
Yep.
Some even
It's funny.
change the picture on the out. They'll draw on them. That's more fun. I'd rather have that same card 20 years from now, completely graffitied. At some point, you're putting tape over it so you can start over on the picture or something. It's just,
Right.
I would much rather have that one card for 20 years be passed around to everybody than everybody going out and buying something new every single time.
Exactly. It's fun too. It's like the progression in history of it's kind of like looking at a little journal.
It is. And sorry, I know anybody who listens to the show year over year, I say the same rant every time, but yeah.
Of course.
Anyways, I also try to look for wants or needs over wants because in many cases, people get their needs throughout the season, anyways. And if your kids are younger, everything is a need to them. You can kind of pick and choose. Or maybe you got one special want, but then you cover all the needs there too. Some blue jeans, some shirts, some socks, some underwear kind of things.
Can we also normalize like, hey, you need your electric bill paid?
You can do that, by the
I
way. You
know.
can, at least here. I don't know the rest of the United States, but Consumers Energy at minimum, which is the northern region of Michigan, allows you to pay consumers' bills or their electric bill. Now, in Detroit, the last I checked, and maybe I'm wrong, they actually stopped it and
Oh,
required you to contact the owner. This, which is against the whole purpose of it. You want to do it anonymously. Like
right.
I literally would like to just pick an address from Google Earth for 5 people and throw $50 on it or something, you know?
Right. Right. Well, and I know that the tradition is carried on far too long and you've always made fun of us, but that's why the games at Christmas started was because my brothers and I were in our 20s. Mom would ask what we wanted for Christmas, and we just wanted money because we wanted to pay our bills and not be broke. And that's why the money games started at Christmas.
I do not make fun of you because it's a game. I make fun of you because it's like a Hunger Game.
Well, yeah, you got to
And
make it fun.
and all of you, like it's like Highlander, only one can survive. Like the whole group of you go after that, like winning that game with those funds as if it's
Oh,
Hunger Games.
see, I feel I have won when I have successfully made someone like wig out. That's
And
my winning.
and ladies and gentlemen, that is what Christmas is about.
It makes it so funny.
It's not, if you guys only knew how many times I had to back off some of their games just from sensory overload.
It's fun.
Like,
It's
where's
like a
Mike?
bunch of minute to win it games, but
Oh,
on steroids.
I am not conditioned to compete against my family and loved ones.
I am.
I'm aware. Anyways, okay. The next thing is to wildly reduce or just simply eliminate single-use items. I'm not a fan. I told you already, I don't like wrapping paper. I don't like bows. I don't like name tags. What you did last year was fantastic.
Yep, I had written down a couple things, a couple ideas like that. So last year I did the newspaper wrapping where I had collected all of the newspapers and ads and just all the junk mail basically that came in. And I kind of even picked each item I wrapped. I tried to like pick funny things off of it. So, for example, Aiden got like a magazine tear out of Snoop Dogg on his, and then I even made newspaper bows, and they were cute.
Yeah, and it was all that garbage that shows up in the mailbox got us at least a use.
Yeah.
You should have thought of that for this year. You could have definitely coated a million things with political ads. Matter of fact,
Oh my
if you have
gosh.
family members who are diehard one side, you could just coat their presents with the other side. That was a miss. That's happening in
Dang it.
4 years.
I did it. I threw them all away because they were annoying.
4 years
awful.
from now, the next major presidential, we're doing it.
Oh, that was such a missed opportunity. That would have been amazing.
In case anybody's wondering, we really hate politics in general, and we yank every chain we can when given the opportunity. So if you're red team, your presidents, they're getting wrapped in blue team. That,
Right.
that is absolutely happening.
And if you're blue team, you're getting wrapped in red team.
Yep. No one is excused from this next time.
Right. Oh man, that's funny. That's really good.
And if you're like us and don't care about politics, you're just getting Snoop Dogg, magazines and stuff.
The Snoop Dogg one was great. I wrapped one of Addison's in all these like empowering girl stuff. I don't think she noticed it, but I thought it was great. She was just excited to unwrap her present. And then, yeah. And Grayson actually has one of his presents was wrapped in a newspaper thing that had a Christmas tree on it, and it's still taped to his wall. Yep.
Well, and for the younger kids, the next thing is quality over quantity, because that was something we had to condition, I think, that
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
hard to have less quote unquote items, but nicer things that would
Well,
last longer.
and I can kind of explain on my end why that was hard for Grayson, because when Grayson was little, I shopped at garage sales for Christmas stuff. So I was able to get a stupid amount of stuff for him, and it still only cost me like $30, maybe. So, like, there's one particular, which baby's first Christmas. There's his first Christmas. That kid is surrounded by presents. And it was all garage sale though, which is a great sustainability idea. But then as you go throughout the year, you're going, why the heck did I get this kid 87 million presents?
Right. Because once they get older and realize,
Now they're everywhere.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
garage sale shopping is, I don't see anything wrong with that. If it's something somebody wants, it's still in good shape. Why does it have to come in a box? Why does it have to come in its packaging? I know that sounds cheap, but I don't feel it is when you're trying to be sustainable and you're trying to get more life out of a product. Sometimes people put things in the garage sales that are still in the boxes. The box has just got a ding on it. As a whole, do Americans think the box needs to be in pristine condition when you're just going to throw it away or put the box in the closet and never look at it again?
Yeah. It just gets destroyed.
Right, exactly.
Especially if the recipient of the gift is excited, they're going to burrow through that thing like it's not there.
Right. They're not even going to give a crap. Exactly.
And I think you can get better things. Let's say they want an instrument. You can get a much nicer instrument online through someone else's household with a little more character probably than you can a brand new instrument. They're usually quite expensive brand new. So
Right.
you could get something much nicer, maybe even a better quality.
Yeah.
Through Marketplace, if you will.
I bought a violin off Marketplace for, I think, $90.
Mhm.
It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. They took good care of it. It was wonderful. I
Yeah,
still can't play it, but
because I keep you busy all the time. And
I
you don't
know.
have time to
right.
play with those toys. But
But
it
yeah,
is an opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say thrift stores and even antique stores. I mean, there's a ton of cool stuff at antique stores that could be beautiful items, or even like you and I, we are constantly getting funny things. It could be a funny thing. But that was kind of one of my thoughts was the hand-me-downs, the thrift stores, the garage sales. You're being sustainable in finances and you're being sustainable by reusing something that still has a ton of life into it.
Yeah, I like that because especially with things that maybe you really couldn't afford to buy that item, but secondhand you can't. Is it really worse? Most cases, no. For
Right.
a lot of things that you can get it now when you couldn't before.
Right, exactly. Or you have the Christmas swap. The Christmas swap isn't a Christmas gift swap. It's a
Decor.
Christmas decor swap. I think that's amazing too. I mean, some of this stuff is so cute in there that people just wanted to have something different this year. And so they bring in their old and then they get new themselves.
Well, and hopefully your mom isn't listening because this will be the second one. But sometimes you love something so much that you pick it up and go, oh my goodness, I love this item. And I can say, yeah, you brought it here last year.
She did do that.
She
She did.
and she took it back again and then brings it back and then donates it again. And if she gets here before the people next year, she'll probably take it back. That is hilarious.
That is so funny. That wooden Santa box has
Yeah.
been back and forth between her house, my house, and Dabble like 47 times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So
Calling her out tonight.
it is. Yeah. Sorry, Rhonda. We love you.
All right.
There is also the fact that you can call it recycle, you can call it upcycle. It's not technically an upcycle, but when you create something from something that would have gone to the trash, you're very good at that. You're refinishing something and gifting that effort. It's really what you're gifting. Yes, you're going to gift the chair, but it's also the effort it took to refinish this. Or I found this old bookshelf that is kind of garbage, but I cut it all down and made shadow boxes for the walls or whatever it happens to be that fits the need of that person. That's kind of a big deal. Those are the things that people don't get rid of because they always remember who made it for them.
Yeah. One year when I was really broke, I hand painted a bunch of baby food jars to look like snowmen. And then in the baby food jars, I can't remember if it was like cocoa or some sort of something like that, like hot cocoa mix or something. And then like I had a couple little other things with it, like candy canes and stuff like that. But that's what everyone got was hand painted baby food jars.
And I bet they loved them. And they probably left them as decor after utilizing what was inside of them for years.
Yeah. I had mine because I made one for me and Grayson and two, or one of us each. But I had mine until I think it was last year. It got wet or something, so the paint came off. But yeah, I had them for a long time.
Yeah, those are a good way to kind of get people. It's a really cool gift that means a lot. You don't spend a ton. It might take effort. You may put time into it, but that's what makes it so important.
Right. And I gotta say, regifting gets a bad rap. Oh, come on. It was a pun. That was so punny.
Oh, I missed it. See, yeah, that's going to hit the comment section right there.
What a waste. What a waste. But I was going to say also jars. You can wrap in jars. I've seen a lot of people, again, do the hot cocoa mix thing or the cookie mixes. That's another amazing way to, one, reuse your jars, and two, you're giving something homemade. I mean, they still have to cook it if it's the cookies, but.
And I don't know. That's one of the things on that list that I find to be more interesting or more important, because maybe it's because I'm getting old and have my readers on, but it's those things that, like, if the kids make stuff or someone in the family makes those things, that now I know why grandma would go, hey, don't sit on that chair. Mom made that chair. And that becomes an heirloom throughout the years and just kind of becomes a decorative item because it is effort. You're kind of remembering the effort.
Mm-hmm. I also thought of another fun thing too. You know how you have like old, like decorative dishes or plates, or if you go to the thrift store and you have, the old Santa plates or stuff like that, you could also make food or cookies. And instead of getting the Tupperware that everyone just throws away or has to return to you, you can give a gift on a cute plate that they get to keep and don't have to worry about returning to you, because I hate returning plates and bowls. Nani also, my mom, that's Nani, does reusable Santa bags for the kids as gifts each year. So she still does throw some wrapping paper in there, but instead of, for the big gifts, instead of wasting a whole roll of wrapping paper, my mom puts them in Santa bags.
I think sometimes she does some of these things knowing that it will make me happy too. It's like my
I
gift.
think she does too.
I think so.
It is your gift that she's being sustainable.
It is. I think that's what's happening. So, by the way, I just think I figured it out. I am kind of out of it a little bit today. I didn't take Magic Mind this morning.
Ah,
I
that
was
does
in a
make
hurry.
sense.
I got distracted. I was like bumping off the walls like a Roomba and just ran out the door.
Like a Roomba.
Like
Yeah,
a Roomba.
that
So,
actually makes sense. You have been kind of absent-minded a little bit. We had to restart the show because you were fidgeting around and weren't paying attention.
yeah, I'll edit that out. You guys won't have to hear that. We may keep it, throw it on the site just to make fun of me, but it happens. I think I got an alert on my phone. Did my other Magic Mind stuff show up today? Because I have gummies.
You have a box. Yes.
Ooh. So that, by the way, is my mental performance gummies. So maybe I should just keep those like in the car for the next time I do something silly and forget it in the morning, which, by the way, is rare. And the other one is the sleep elixir.
Oh, yeah. You need that because you weren't sleeping well last week when you were
No.
sick.
So that was another one of those gifts that they were like, hey, Mike, thank you for kind of talking about Magic Mind. Let us give you some of these. So I'm kind of excited to try those ones. The only thing I want to tell everybody else, because I can't tell you how they are anymore because I haven't had them yet, but I can tell you that because I started getting these things, I wanted to go into my subscription and change it because they have like a dashboard, this simplified system to where you just sign in and you can actually change anything that you're doing. So whatever you're subscribed to, it has skip a month, edit your frequency, edit your products, hurry it up. So maybe you ran out, you need to get it now. You can apply new discount codes from there. You can even manage the subscription, pause or cancel, and no one hassles you. And I only feel
That's nice.
wonderful about that because I dealt with cable companies in the last month. And I swear to you, healthcare providers, cable companies, and cell phone providers, anything you're trying to accomplish. So that dashboard just gave me warm fuzzies that I could adjust anything I wanted for my subscription without someone like yelling at me.
I have to say though too, so 2 weeks ago I was sick, and I was sick for what, 9 days or something. I was dying sick. You were sick. You got it after me, and you were sick for 3.
I was functional for the 3, but I was definitely slowed down.
Well, yeah, and you were still functioning. I was not functioning with mine. I was very sick, and I think it's because you're taking your Magic Mind.
I'm telling you, it's the only vitamins I can legitimately take on a regular basis. I am not trustworthy enough to go find whatever pills. If I ever end up with like heart problems, you're going to have to like give me the pills like you do the dog, because I never go find them and eat them.
That game on.
Oh, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the next video that you'll see on TikTok. But I just don't. Remember, because Nicole's like, just buy the pills for the same thing and they'll last. I don't take them. I'm always in a hurry. I'm running here, I'm running there. And every once in a blue moon, I'll miss this. But 90% of the time, I grab it. I like the taste of it anyway. So I drink it and I go. And I think it's probably part of the reason why I'm not knocked down as long as you, especially this last one, because it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
So anyways, I'll let you guys know. I'm going to try the sleep elixir. I'm going to try the gummies, which is basically just the same as the drinks, the mental performance, and I'll let you know how they go.
Well, and the sleep elixir is non-habit forming, right?
Yeah, I actually brought it up because I can't say half the words. I brought it up on the screen. Okay, so it says no melatonin for natural sleep without relying on the melatonin, right? Non-habit forming. You can fall asleep faster. You take it 30 minutes beforehand. It helps just relax, improve sleep, and you wake up refreshed. It's not like you got hit in the head with a bat and it puts you to sleep that way, like NyQuil or any of those other things.
Benadryl hangover, those are the worst.
But it has ashwagandha. I don't know if I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any of these correctly, except for maybe sea salt. I think I got that one. But
good job.
kava, chamomile,
That's right.
GABA, 5 HTP. I don't know if that's like hit points. I'm getting hit points for taking this. That's pretty awesome if you're a gamer.
That is,
L-theanine,
yes.
Bavarian, so that's probably an Armenian.
My gosh.
I'm a Nazarian. Passion flower, lemon balm, lavender, magnesium, organic MCT oil, sodium benzoate, lemon flavor. So at least I know the flavor. Chamomile flavor. Not sure why that's not just with the organic chamomile, but citric acid, purple plum, and organic monkey fruit. That's your ingredients.
I want an organic monkey fruit.
Well, I'm not sure where those are from, and most places don't want you shipping fruit. But you can have one of these before you go to sleep, and it's kind of like having it.
Maybe. I'll have to try it.
Anyways, anybody interested, if you want to help yourself and realistic sustainability at the same time and want to try out Magic Mind, just go to the link down in the description and don't forget to use Sustainability20 as your coupon code and get 20% off. Back to the show. I know I got us all sidetracked here for a second, but one thing I do want to change is dinner. I think Christmas dinner doesn't necessarily have to be turkey or ham.
No, we do soup. We did soup last year. It's the best.
Yeah, I think that there's other options out there. Your mom's salad with the ginger dressing that I keep accidentally thinking is gravy and putting it on my potatoes. Not as good on the potatoes as it is the salad, but
it's amazing on the salad.
It is an amazing dressing on the salad, and she makes that. So like that kind of stuff, I think we should feature the things that we actually like. How many people like make the traditional dinner and they only eat turkey or potatoes, or someone has some yams or whatever it is?
Like change tradition.
Like when they get the cranberry sauce that's still shaped like the can, no one's eating that. They're only eating it out of obligation.
I didn't know people ate that, to be honest.
It should be like a garnish or something. But that's what I mean. There's so many things that people don't eat. I think the holidays should be like everybody cooks their thing.
Well, and
thing
here's
that
the
everybody
thing.
wants.
That is an us culture thing, because there are other cultures that girls that I've worked with that have the best spreads at Thanksgiving and Christmas. They'll do lobster and they'll do steak and they do like all this crazy. And I don't think you should go that far, but like I'm completely content with our soup and salad and breadstick Christmas. That's one of my favorite. But like, yeah, who says we have to eat a certain way during any holiday?
Well, and I believe that people are backing off of the turkeys and the hams. And I'm only saying that because how capitalism works. If you have too many of something, they become very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally bought a turkey this year because it was $3.90 and it didn't kill anybody. So it couldn't have been like tainted or anything. It was just that cheap because I think people are kind of moving on.
Right.
And I don't think it has to be big slabs of meat. I love the soups. I love the salads and that kind of stuff too. So
you could do a macaroni bar. Ooh, that would be so good. Or a baked potato bar.
Ooh, I'm telling you, I'm about the baked potato bar. After that one at work, the one time I told Nick the next time we do something here, it needs to be a baked potato bar.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's Super Bowl. As we get together for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, so great things are. So if you're listening and you're within the range and you don't want to fly, we watch the Super Bowl. It's open door. Everybody's welcome. And maybe I can kind of nick into maybe doing a baked potato bar.
Or you could fly out and get a baked potato bar. Either way.
Well, most expensive baked potato ever.
But it'd be.
But we'll get to meet you. We'll get to meet you. So anyways.
You get to taste Nick's food.
And I think that if you do it this way, you reduce your waste. Because there's that stuff that I don't think people freeze a lot of those Thanksgiving meals. Maybe some people do create little TV dinners or something. But if you're making the things everybody loves and that's it. Now there's a penalty thing here. Sometimes, and I'm learning this, sometimes people bring this item every year because everybody says they love it, but they don't. I think for Christmas, you tell them. They don't. Every family has that one item that sits there and it disappears. Well, I'm pretty sure no one's eating it. So we should also make sure we handle that at the same time.
What item are you speaking of?
I will never say those kinds of things out loud because, I mean, I guess that counteracts what I just said. But anyways, we'll have to maybe plant notes or hints or something because there are some
family holiday fights.
Yeah. But the idea is that everybody brings that favorite that everybody's just going to love. And that's what we eat.
Yeah, the comfort food.
Mm-hmm. how much better is that for a holiday meal than this is our obligated meal of the year?
That's amazing. It's my favorite, to be honest.
And also for dinners every year, and hopefully I'll get to do this again with Nick, find some place to volunteer. If you're having holidays on different days, it works out really well because a lot of times ours is after Christmas with your family. And Christmas Day, we usually do something small at the house, but Christmas Eve is kind of dedicated to helping Nick. In case anybody is wondering, Nick in his home in Montrose, he cooks a meal for the community, and it's on his dime. He cooks a pretty darn good, massive meal and feeds the town. I like to go help on that. That fills my soul.
Yeah, that is amazing. He had a really good turnout last year.
Yep, and I plan to be there, and hopefully we have a good time. And there's a ton of people, and year over year, it seems to be more and more. And I just like to help. It's a great night.
Yeah, and I believe last year too, didn't they have someone taking food to shut-ins as well?
We had
Yeah.
several people
To go
because
packages.
it's not just a sit and eat. You can come and get to goes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Went through a significant amount of food, and
What
he
a
still
nice
does.
guy.
And he still does the quote unquote accident turkey. Because
Oh, yes.
the very first year, he apparently left some in a little too long, and being the chef that he is, he can't serve dry food because then only I will like it. And so he mixed it in with the gravy, and everybody ranted and raved about this tender, fantastic turkey that he literally just threw in the gravy to hide the fact that he had overcooked it. And
It
now
was
it's required.
so good.
And now it's required.
It was so good. I was like, "Are you going to make that again this year?" And he's like, "Ah."
It does bother him, but hey, you know what? It's his and he owns it. But no, Nick is amazing for holding such an event, and I look forward to being able to help out. Let's see, decor. You already talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
what Dabble does, and that was because of Wendy and Aaron and all of your friends who were going to throw away all their Christmas stuff and start over, and that's unacceptable. We hold a decor swap every year where everybody just brings me the stuff they no longer want. We do kind of weed through it for things that maybe are, too broken to use or should probably go out. But most of that stuff is just as good as the day they bought it. And we fill Dabble with it. And then we just open the door for the community to come in and take it. Some people bring some stuff in to drop while they grab other things. Your mother likes the things she already owns. And others just take what they want or need. And my goal is to get it all out the door. I don't want to store any of it for the year. This year we had about 3 totes that we had to keep for
Not too
next
bad.
year. But
Yeah, that whole thing started because Wendy and Nicole were like, "I want new decorations." But then they were like, "Why don't we do a swap?" And then one of them said, "Let's do it at Dabble." So that was literally how that thought process was created.
yeah, then it was let's make it public, because at first it was just going to be all of us swapping things. And then it was let's
Yeah.
make it public. Then they just dropped off all their stuff and never came back.
I don't even know if they took stuff from. Oh, Nicole
They did.
take some stuff this year.
Oh, this year. Well, because,
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
usually they just drop it off now and don't come back. They're not swapping, they're just leaving it here. But it turned out to be a really cool community event,
Yeah, and many people look forward to it each year.
which I'm in. The other thing is nowadays you can make, maybe not, you could make really cool decor. I have machines that can make things that are pretty decent, but in general, nowadays, people have so many different things. People have pry cut systems at home for the t-shirts they're already making. They can make some cool stuff for the holidays. I have 3D printers. If I wanted to, I could make different things for the holidays. People work with resin like you do and can make some pretty amazing holiday decor.
Like ornaments and stuff.
Yep. There's laser cutting. There's the stuff with wood now that you can do. Some people have that as a side job, can make those items much more cost effective. It's not going through a corporation. Because here's the deal. If you get something from a person and you know that person, I guarantee it has less embodied energy. I guarantee you are buying a much more, no matter how complex it is, a much more sustainable product than something that came from the other side of the planet on a cargo ship through multiple warehouses. It came off of a factory line that moved to another factory line to be painted and boxed. All these things get skipped.
But I will stop you and say you do have to be careful with that because us crafters all know that sometimes you get into a craft and you buy all the things for it and you just spend all the money on it to get all the items, and then you do the craft for like a season and then you never touch it again.
Yeah,
So
it's ADHD crafting.
yes, which I am totally guilty of. But you need to try to craft with what you have is the more important thing. Craft with what you have. I mean, obviously, if you run out of paint, you go get more paint, stuff like that. But don't go buy a whole resin kit and all the items, because those in themselves have their own, what's the word?
You know what, embodied energy?
Have their own embodied energy as well. And if you're overbuying, if you're buying too much, try to use what you have. Obviously, if you want to pick up a new hobby, pick up a new hobby, but don't go crazy with it. I think too, bring back the popcorn and Cheerios garland. I mean, that's something fun you could do with the kids. You know, that's not just being sustainable, but it's also a Christmas activity that doesn't cost $1 million. You're not having to go buy, instead of going and buying the gingerbread house kit, hey, we're going to make garland today, or make our ornaments, or cut out your snowflakes and put them in the windows. Kids love that stuff. And our teenagers are kind of over it. They don't want to do that stuff with me anymore. But when they were little, they would do it all the time with me.
One of my fondest memories during what is probably the hardest time for my mom when I was growing up was we would do the corn garland, but then she would also take cookie cutters with cardboard and create the shapes of the cookie cutters, you know, stars and sleighs and reindeer. And then we would draw them on there and create ornaments.
Oh, that's cute.
It. And that was, or take cotton balls and make the snow and glitter everywhere, of course. And we would make our own. It was a day for us to be together. And I still remember to this day, and I think she still has a few still left over that she puts on a tree and some in her hope chest.
Ah, that's cute.
We literally made that out of garbage.
Right. Well, and a lot of people will have, you know, oh, we got to have our Christmas baking day, you know, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I love Christmas cookies, but that can be expensive. That can be super expensive. I mean, if you're making 3 or 4 different kinds of cookies, you're spending $300 easily to even get started. This is something, a tradition you could do with your family. And it doesn't have to, I mean, you can find ways where it doesn't look chintzy. If you're worried about it looking like garbage, you know, you can find ways to make decor and crafts that still are pretty and elegant in your home. And you're still spending that time, and you're not spending the money. You're spending the time together without breaking the bank, without overusing stuff that's going to be thrown away.
Yeah, there's just a lot of ways. I'll be honest, you're going to use these things that you're not throwing away, but you're also creating a memory. So good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes some of the things I made looked ridiculous, and every year we had a good laugh about it. And we had a good time with putting that on the tree. Like, oh, Mike's going to put that. He calls it a reindeer, but we're not 100% sold on it.
Right.
Like, hey, that is my craft level right there. That is a reindeer-like item.
Yep.
But we laugh, we enjoy it. It's just, there's a better way to do it, right?
Exactly. I think we're definitely getting out of the era of everything had to be. When I was growing up, it felt like if it wasn't new, it wasn't great, you know? But I feel like a lot of the generations coming up behind us are finding enjoyment in the nostalgia stuff, or the, oh my gosh, my brain is not working today.
They're in the fridge if you need one.
Right? The generation behind us is finding more beauty in the reused items and the moments that you spend with your family over the dollar amount of stuff that you can get.
The next generations, you know, are kind of held to a point where they don't have the income. It's not as abundant. It isn't like every generation is becoming more and more rich. And maybe the family is saying, no, it must be a new thing. It's almost like a renegade act to go, nope, I got this from Goodwill and it's gorgeous.
Oh, and vintage is in. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm all about it. Like, I mean, I'm not, because quote unquote vintage is now the 90s and that hurts my soul a little bit, but vintage is in, guys.
Yep, and garage sailing, all that stuff, and it just makes it a lot easier. Anyways,
I'm vintage now, so I'm totally in. I'm cool.
mwahahaha. That means the old jokes on me are about to slow down a bit.
Right?
So we've talked about the gifts, we've talked about the dinners, we talked about the decor, talked about how much people spend. So the whole idea is just be thoughtful. It's the holiday season. The whole concept is to be thoughtful. If someone would like just to spend time with you, that's a hell of a gift. We have Aiden coming back from the army December 20th, and just the fact that he will be here will make my whole holiday season. There's things these days. I think the era of the item, people fist fighting in malls, I think that era's gone.
Yeah, it is
I think,
gone.
the what can we do to create and make something special for someone else and create heirlooms or memories or whatever it happens to be. In case you're wondering, I have worked very hard to attempt to peer pressure Jamie's family from not holding the Hunger Games, and they're now getting rid of the cash game. They're still going to play the games, but they're
Yeah, we're
going to have
not
a
getting
trophy.
rid of the Hunger Games. The trophy is different.
Well, when it's cash, it's Hunger Games. Now this is just a fun game because you have a trophy.
It's still going to be Hunger Game like,
You
just
may
less money is involved.
you may be aggressive. At least it's a single item that we will use year after year after year. You don't have to buy gift cards and use cash and all these little dollar store items that you guys hide cash in to fight over. It's all going to be gone. It's going to be a trophy. I'm very excited about that.
And I'm making the trophy, hopefully.
Yeah, your time's ticking. That is what we have for you today. A little more goofy today, I guess, a little more playfulness, but I think the story still holds, is just being simply thoughtful. Think about the holidays as the people you care about and treat them in the ways that they love to be treated. Make the meals that make you all happy. Give the gifts that create memories. And when it comes to decor, just be creative. Even if you're like me and you're not very artistic, you can make anything and call it what you want. No one can stop you. It's a reindeer, damn it. Anyways, thank you all for listening. We really enjoy doing the show. And I'd like to tell everybody thank you again because we're seeing increases in listenership. And I think it's because you're sharing it with your friends or you're sharing it on your social media. So thank you very, very much. If you like this episode, just do that. Share it with a friend or on social media. If you want to follow my Facebook, you can now. I've moved it over to I don't know what they call it. Nick told me it's like a digital creator thing. So that's just me and us. Feel free to join it. You're more than welcome to follow it. And as we go through our little, shenanigans throughout life, you'll get to be there for them. And it's stuff that's not uploaded to other socials. Now, as for Magic Mind, also thank you because it seems like people are trying it out. I'd love to hear your feedback because it seems like more and more people after each show are giving it a try. So feel free to email, send me a message on greeningyourlife.org. However you want to find me, Facebook. I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you still haven't tried it, but you want to, 20% off. Just go to the description below, click the link, and use the promo code sustainability20. You get to kind of support yourself and realistic sustainability at the same time. We hope that however you celebrate your holiday season, you have a good holiday season. I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, we're just trying to get a little bit better. Little bit, big bit. I'm Mike.
I'm Jamison.
And we'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas. Bye.